Hello everyone and welcome to your Sports Sunday with Butt Fumble Sports. Great to have you on this episode of the show. We've got NBA Game 7s, two of them. We have MLB, no NHL today, but we should have plenty to keep us well entertained throughout the entirety of the day. Hello everyone, for those watching on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok Live, and on Instagram Live. I know I may have fooled you guys. I didn't think I'd get in time to do our show today, but I got back into New York in time. Shout out to Amtrak, shout out to Acela, and shout out to all of you loyal Butt Fumbler Sports viewers for joining me. I know I told you we wouldn't be here today. We are. Why? Because we are scorching hot with our picks. Our research is doing well, and I've heard from so many of you guys going, hey, I need my picks for Sunday. You can't abandon me now. We've been cooking. So the chef is in. The Benihana of sports betting is about to deliver the best bets of the day based on trends, data, analytics, officiating, weather, whatever information we can get our hands on, we're going to put that to good use to try to find the best bets and the best fantasy plays of the day. If you are new to Butt Fumble Sports, first of all, welcome to the show, welcome to the channel. This is a sports content company created by a sports fan for you real sports fans at home. My background is in sports content creation, producing sports content for sports betting and fantasy sports, as well as working in programming for ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports, and being a producer for Jim Rome. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join us every time we go live, because this show is for you. We are going to focus on your questions. We're going to focus on your bets, whatever you care about. So if you need some confirmation or affirmation about the bets you've already made today, hopefully we can help you with that. If you're on the fence and you need swaying in one direction or the other, we're here for that as well. We are going to start with the first of the two Game 7s. We're going to start with the Knicks and Pacers. That one tips off at 3:30 this afternoon, and it is a mega matchup of two old Eastern Conference foes, giving us a great 7-game series. We're going to get first into how the money's coming down, then we'll talk injury report, then we'll do some research. Thus far, 82% of the tickets bet on this game are on the Knicks to win. 82%. 70% of the money is on the Knicks to win. So not as much money, a little bit of money going towards the Pacers as opposed to the tickets, but it's not enough of a discrepancy for me to be alarmed by it. As for the spread, 64% of the tickets are on the Knicks to cover a minus 3.5 spread, 59% of the money. Kind of a similar move. It's still very heavily favoring the Knicks, but the Pacers are getting a little bit of love. I will let you know the over is getting a lot of love. 98% of tickets, 97% of the money are on the over. So the over certainly has our attention. Now, maybe the biggest factor in this entire game is the injury report. Normally, we get to the playoffs, we don't want to be talking injury report, but it is crucial for this one. OG Anunoby is a game-time decision. OG Anunoby, game-time decision. That will certainly impact things. Do I expect him to play? I do not. I don't think he's going to play, but the fact he's at least going to participate and shoot around and test that hamstring to see if he can go, at least is a slightly positive sign for Knick fans. Josh Hart, game-time decision with the abdominal strain. I think he's going to play. I think Josh Hart will tough it out. I think OG will be unable to play. Either way, you're not getting 100% of either guy. You'll be lucky if you get 80% of either player. So obviously, those are going to play a very, very big factor. Let's get into some trends, everybody, because there is a trend that I have to bring up with you guys. It is one of the most incredible trends that I have seen in the last few weeks of doing NBA sports betting. The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. When these two teams meet in Madison Square Garden, dating back to, let's say 2014. Since a decade ago, since 2014, the Knicks and Pacers have played in New York 20 times. They played in New York 20 times. When the Knicks have been a home favorite, they are 9-1. Since 2014, when the Knicks play the Pacers at home and they're a favorite, they are 9-1. The only loss came 2023, April of 2023 of last year. Quickly looking at what was behind maybe some of those The New York Knicks had a bunch of scrubs playing that game. Was not their normal lineup. Like Jalen Brunson did not play that game. Obi Toppin was actually on the Knicks at the time. Much different lineup. So if you just think with Jalen Brunson in the lineup, undefeated at home as a favorite against the Pacers. Again, 9-1 straight up, 8-2 against the spread. I'm going to put this one on the board right away, everyone. I'm taking Knicks on the money line. I'm taking the Knicks to win today. I think the Knicks are going to get the win. I actually like them covering the spread. We'll dive into that a little bit in just a moment. But again, as a home favorite over the last decade against the Pacers, the Knicks are 9-1 straight up, 8-2 against the spread. That is certainly some data we cannot take for granted. We're checking that one out. By the way, shout out to John over on YouTube. Philip Monk, shout out to you. Sorry we missed on that Mavs spread. We did so well on everything else, but that -2.5 didn't quite get there. Richard Roman, hope you're having a great day. And John Zonok, great to have you with us. We'll get to some MLB in just a second. We are going to focus on that Red Sox game first because it has first pitch. But we're not quite done going through this Pacers and Knicks game. I do want to flip it around, and I want to see, since the start of this season, since the start of 2023, how have the Pacers done as a road dog on 1 day of rest? That's all I'll look at. 9-10 straight up, 11-7-1 against the spread. They've lost 3 of their last 4. How about when that opponent has a winning record? So just like today, Pacers on the road as an underdog against a team with a winning record, and they're on 1 day of rest. Let's make it when both teams are on 1 day of rest. Record for this, Pacers are 8-10, 10-7-1 against the spread. Over-under has gone slightly towards the over at 10-8. I still like my Knicks play. That's probably the one I like the most. How about the Knicks so far this year? Home favorite, both teams on 1 day of rest, and the opponent has a winning record. 7-5 straight up, 6-6 against the spread. They have won 5 of their last 6 games, though, under those circumstances. Again, I know the injuries are plaguing the Knicks. I know a number of you may be concerned about OG playing or Josh Hart playing, but I'm taking the Knicks on the money line. And very quickly, let's jump over to some player prop bets. Very quickly, I just want to look at points for Jalen Brunson. I'm going to look at points for Jalen Brunson. Now, I probably won't actually bet any Knick player prop bets until I know for sure who's going to play and who's going to sit with injury, because I want to have that piece of data. But let's look at Jalen Brunson. Over 34.5 points. Has not been a good trend against the Pacers. It's missed in 4 of his last 5 games against the Indiana Pacers at home. He has hit it in 4 of his last 5 games, though. So when Jalen Brunson has played in Indianapolis, the point total has hit the under very consistently. At Madison Square Garden, other than the game that was played on May 8th, I believe that was game 2 of the series, he has gone over this point total every other time, at least in this series, and in, again, 4 of his last 5. If I put this on just 1 day of rest, he has hit this. He's only hit it in 2 of his last 4 games on 1 day of rest at home against the Pacers. Just something to consider. Without Josh Hart in the lineup, we've actually talked a lot about the assist total. Assists, the under has been a very strong play. The under has been an incredibly strong play. However, if Josh Hart doesn't play, this actually changes a little bit. Sorry, if Josh Hart plays, this changes a little bit. When Josh Hart has been in the lineup for this. Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind. The under on assists might be a good play still. Is it without OG? Yeah, it's without... no. Under 6.5... Under 6.5 assists should be a decent play as well for Jalen Brunson. He did hit 7 last time he played at Madison Square Garden. That broke our heart. But you may want to also consider Jalen Brunson under 6.5 assists, at least for the moment. So Knicks money line, first pick we're giving out. Now let's get to work on some of these MLB picks. So I know there are a lot of picks that you guys care about. Just write them in the comment section. If there's a game you want us to focus on, we'll take a look at it. John is asking about the Red Sox, Guardians, and Yankees. Yankees specifically on the run line. Let's take a look at the Red Sox first, everybody. We're going to flip over, look at some MLB. Again, we give away our picks for free every day. So if you want to see all of our picks for free, just DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports, I give away my picks for free every single day. So if you miss any of the picks we're about to give out, no worries. Just DM me on Instagram. You'll get every single one. They're never behind a paywall. I never charge for them. So make sure you DM me on Instagram today to get every bet. Let's take a look first at the Red Sox and Cardinals. That's the first game to go, first pitch in baseball. Red Sox, last game of a series so far this year, 8-6 straight up. When they're on the road, last game of a series, they're actually 5-2. They've performed pretty well. Flipping that over, how about the Cardinals? Cardinals, last game of a series at home this year. Cardinals are just 1-5 straight up at home. Last game of a series. Red Sox on the road, last game of a series, 5-2. So early look, thus far, two variables pointing in the direction of Red Sox on the money line. Money's coming down on the Red Sox on the money line. We like that as well. But let's look at the starting pitcher for the Red Sox, Nick Pivetta. When Nick Pivetta has been on the mound for the Red Sox this year, they're 2-2 straight up, 1-3 on the run line, 0-4. The under is 4-0. The under is 4-0. Interesting note. Let's duplicate that. Let's take a look at it from the Cardinals side. Matthew Liberatore on the mound for the Cardinals, the left-handed pitcher. 1-1 in 2 starts for him. 1-1 on the run line. The over-under is 1-1 as well. If I had to go in any direction on this game, I actually am taking the Red Sox on the money line. Red Sox on the money line. I also like the under in this game. Red Sox, Cardinals, I'd be considering the under. The weather for this one does favor the under a little bit. Likelihood of home runs down 9%. Likelihood of runs overall down 6%. If we look at the money coming down on this one, 71% of the money is on the Red Sox to win. The under's not getting the same love from the money. I personally do like the under. If you want to avoid it, I understand it. But thus far, the trends are pointing towards the under. Really quick, I'm just going to check out one other thing. How about Red Sox in day games? Red Sox in day games so far this year, 11-6 straight up. The under's 11-5-1. Love that. How about on the road specifically? Day games on the road for the Red Sox. They're 6-2 straight up. The under continues to play well. How about the Cardinals? Cardinals in day games, regardless of location, 6-12 straight up. 12-6 towards the under. How about when they're at home in a day game? 3-6 straight up. The under, not as good, but still pretty good at 5-4. All variables are pointing in the same direction. I mentioned this to you guys who watch the show regularly. I don't just want one trend going in my direction. I want a constellation. 3, 4, 5, 6 variables all pointing me in the same direction. I don't just want one compass telling me to go north. I want 6 different variables all telling me that's the direction to go. So I will take Red Sox on the money line. I am going to take the under on this game as well. I'm going to buy it up. I take it under 9 or under 9.5. So Cardinals under 9. Or you could take it for a parlay play at under 9.5. Those are some plays that I do like today for that Red Sox and Cardinals games. By the way, really quick, let's jump on over to a player prop bet. Let's see if there are any good player prop bets for this game. Just kind of curious about that. There is actually somebody that I have in mind. We're going to focus on over half a hit if they're available for us. One guy I'm really focused on is Rob Refsnyder. Rob Refsnyder has been a kind of a utility player his career. He's kind of always been that 4th or 5th outfielder that they can throw in. But his claim to fame is he crushes left-handed pitching. His whole career, dating back to when he was a Yankees prospect, his time bouncing around the AL East and now in the Red Sox organization, he hits well against lefties. He's facing a lefty today. In 25 at-bats against left-handed pitching this year, he is hitting .320, no home runs, 2 RBIs. That has my attention. Rob Refsnyder would be someone I'd consider. Connor Wong is another one. Connor Wong has outstanding numbers against left-handed pitching so far this year. Connor Wong, over half a hit, is available at -195. Again, this would be good for like a same-game parlay. He has a hit in 7 of his last 10 games. Against left-handed, 6 of his last 10. But specifically on the road, he has a hit against left-handed pitching in 4 of his last 6 games. Again, Connor Wong, No history against this starting pitcher, but he does have a .375 average against lefties in 40 at-bats so far this year. Connor Wong could be a very good play. Again, for a same-game parlay with like Red Sox on the money line, or maybe adding it to some other parlays with players we like to get a hit. I am going to put these up on the big board. Connor Wong, over half a hit. And Rob Refsnyder, over half a hit. Two players I like for this one. Flipping it over to the Cardinals side of things, Paul Goldschmidt has really good numbers against Nick Pivetta. He does not have great numbers this year. Paul Goldschmidt against right-handed pitching, hitting just .202 against Nick Pivetta in his career. 9 at-bats, a .444 average, home run, and an RBI obviously included in that. Paul Goldschmidt has gotten hot of late, though. He had got off to a bit of a cold start. Everyone knows that. But he actually has a hit in 7 straight games. He has a multi-hit game in 3 of those 7 games against right-handed pitching. He has a hit in 6 straight games. I would add him to the big board as well. Paul Goldschmidt, over half a hit. Only other player that I would keep my eye on, I'm not going to put him on the big board, but against Nick Pivetta, Matt Carpenter rakes. Matt Carpenter has 10 career at-bats against Nick Pivetta, 4 hits. 3 of those 4 hits are home runs. So Matt Carpenter, I know he's maybe past his prime by a good margin. You may not think of him as someone you want to put a bet down on, but against Nick Pivetta, Matt Carpenter has phenomenal career numbers. Again, 10 career at-bats, 4 career hits. 3 of those 4 hits are home runs. So the four guys I have my eye on for this Cardinals and Red Sox game are Connor Wong, Rob Refsnyder, Paul Goldschmidt, and Matt Carpenter. Those 4 hitters, I could see all getting a hit today. I actually have a few parlays with those sprinkled in. Appreciate you guys watching the show. Hope you love the content, the conversation. If you do, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, no matter the platform you're watching on. We love hearing from you guys every single day. Shy Bears, asking a fantasy football question. Love that. Shy Bears over on Twitch. I got an offer in Dynasty Fantasy. I give away Calvin Ridley, and I get first year and Bateman. What do you think? That's a really tricky one for me. And the reason it's tricky for me is 2 factors. One, I kind of like Calvin Ridley in the new look Tennessee Titans offense. First of all, they're playing in a division that doesn't have great secondaries. Second of all, I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I think he'll perform well with Will Levis. So I'm a bit cautious about that. Bateman is not going to put up the value of a Calvin Ridley. So obviously, whoever is making this deal with you, they're getting the better of it, at least now. It's all about get a first next year. Is that in this upcoming season, or is that in 2025? If I had to wait till 2025, Shy Bears, it's not worth it to me. I actually think there are enough rookie wide receivers, enough rookie quarterbacks that in this draft class may be worth it to me to draft someone like a Marvin Harrison Jr. I could see the combination of Bateman and Marvin Harrison Jr. outperforming Calvin Ridley. So Shy Bears, here's my question. Is the first round pick for 2024 or 2025? If it's 2024, I probably pull the trigger. If it's 2025, I'd hold on to Calvin Ridley. Thanks so much for the question. If you guys do have fantasy football questions, we're certainly here for that as well. Love talking fantasy with you. If you're watching over on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, or TikTok Live, make sure you throw your questions and comments in the chat. No matter what they are, you want me to rant about sports, you want to talk some fantasy sports, you want some sports betting advice, here for all of it. Sports fan, love Seth Brown total bases, love Javier Baez total bases. Clearly, sports fan Gab did his research last night or this morning because Seth Brown has great numbers against the starting pitcher he's facing. I think he's got 3 career home runs. Javi Baez, for all the bad that we talk about when it comes with Javi Baez, he rakes against Jordan Montgomery, the starting southpaw of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Seth Brown, Javi Baez may not be 2 stars or 2 brand names across baseball that get people excited to go bet, but actually, sports fan, those are 2 of the better, at least historical matchup hitters that we have playing today. They've got great data against the starting pitchers. Zion is asking about the Guardians. Let's talk some Guardians baseball, everybody. The Guardians is the next game we'll talk about. And then don't worry, I promise that John will finish up Yankees on the money line. But Guardians on the money line is the next one we're going to talk about. Interesting how the money's coming down on this game. Right now, the Guardians are the favorite on the money line, but on the run line, it's the Twins getting -1.5. So even the sports books are going, this is a coin flip. It's a very close game, and I just want you guys to be aware of it because I do think that this one is a nail-biter of a game, maybe one that you actually want to sit out. There are some trends I'm going to bring up that may encourage you in one direction, but this is absolutely a coin flip of a game. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. First things first, how is the money coming down on this game? 83% of tickets are on the Guardians to win. 95% of the money is on the Guardians to win. I think that's because of the trends I'm going to bring up in a moment, but we'll talk about that in a sec. As for this spread, the Twins -1.5, you could get that at +165 right now. That's getting 57% of the money. So here's the thing you got to be aware of. It isn't advantageous to take the Guardians right now at too many spots. You can take Guardians on the money line, but it isn't advantageous to take them in too many spots. It actually may be better to take the Twins in some spots, just being aware of that. Let's dive into some of the trends on this. First, let's look at how the Guardians have done at home and day games this year. Guardians, so far at home and day games, 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread, or on the run line. So Guardians, phenomenal at home and day games. First thing we notice. How about, let's take a quick look at how the Twins have done in day games on the road. Twins on the road in day games, 8-5 straight up, 10-3 on the run line. So actually two teams that have performed well in day games in the location that they'll be playing. Let's go to the Twins. Last game of a series on the road. Last game of a series on the road. Twins are 4-3 straight up, 5-2 on the run line. One thing that continues to stand out, at least in the early trends, Twins are pretty good on the run line under these circumstances. How about those Guardians? Guardians, you're going to love this trend. Guardians, last game of a series at home, 6-0 straight up. I'll say it again. Guardians are 6-0 straight up. Last game of a series played at home this year. They're 4-2 on the run line. The over is 5-1. So thus far, the early trends that you're seeing at least come up are Guardians money line, Twins +1.5. Again, showing you it's a coin flip. But let's look at some of the starting pitchers. Chris Paddock of the Minnesota Twins. When he's pitched this year, the Twins are 6-2 straight up, 6-2 on the run line. Over under is 4-4. Flipping it around, Tanner Bibby, however you pronounce it, on the mound for the Guardians. He has made 9 starts this year. The Guardians are 8-1 in his starts, 6-3 straight up. This, I'm telling you, is a really tough game to bet. If I had to go in any direction on this game, I'd probably take Guardians on the money line and take Twins +1.5. But I'm warning you guys, this is maybe one of the toughest games of the day to bet. The trends are so heavily favored towards the Guardians to win. But frankly, it's because the Guardians have been phenomenal at home. Phenomenal last game of a series at home. Really strong in day games. Does that break today? I don't know. If I follow the trends, it's Guardians on the money line, Twins +1.5. Because I don't have the conviction level that I really want to, I'm not going to bet this game. I'm not going to put it on my big board, but I certainly wanted to make you aware of the trends behind it. Let's talk about some of the player prop bets, though, in this one really quick. Some player prop bets that may be advantageous for us. Alex Kirilloff, just 2 hits and 5 at-bats against Tanner Bibby, whatever you call it. But just someone you want to consider. I wouldn't bet him against Chris Paddock. No Guardians have a history against him. No great numbers against right-handed pitchers. So again, a game I'm probably going to avoid. Guardians on the money line is where I'm leaning. Twins +1.5 is where I'm leaning. Not going to put it up on the big board. Don't have the conviction level behind it. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the show. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. And if you miss any of the picks that I give out, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports. I give away my picks for free. They're never behind a paywall. I never charge for them. They're never hidden. They're never deleted. You guys work hard for your money. You should not pay for picks. I do this research for free every day. If you guys want access to the picks that come out of this research, just DM me on Instagram. I give them away for free every single day. Don't worry, Sean, we'll get to the Orioles, but actually there's another game that I promised we'd talk about first. That's Yankees and White Sox. Now, everyone's going to take Yankees on the money line. It's an obvious one. I'll say it to you guys. If you're looking for just a very easy parlay leg, Yankees on the money line is a parlay leg. I absolutely have no questions about it. I'm all in on it. That said, let's look at some of the trends behind this from the White Sox side of things. White Sox, day games on the road, 2-5 straight up, 2-5 on the run line. The under is slightly better at 4-3. How about the Yankees? Day games at home. Yankees, best team at baseball at home so far this year. Day games at home. Yankees are just 5-4 straight up. 4-5 on the run line, actually. The under slightly better at 5-4 as well. However, White Sox, last game of a series on the road. White Sox, last game of a series on the road this year. Just 2-4 straight up. They have won their last 2 games under these circumstances, though, against the Cardinals and the Rays. How about the Yankees? Last game of a series at home for the Bronx Bombers so far this year. Yankees are just 3-3. 2-4 straight up, 3-3 on the over-under. So overall, it actually is not a great set of trends, but Carlos Rodon is going to solve that. Carlos Rodon, 6-3 in his starts so far this year, specifically at Yankee Stadium. He's 2-1 straight up. The under's 2-1 as well. His only loss came to the Oakland Athletics, and that was just a 2-0 loss for the Yanks. So actually, he's pitched really well at home so far this season. Flipping it around, Chris Flexen for the White Sox. They are 1-4 in his starts. They are 1-4 on the run line. The over is 4-0-1 in his starts. So based on the starting pitching matchup, that's where we're getting our confidence level from on this one. I would take Yankees on the money line as a parlay play. I'm also taking Yankees -1.5. I'm very big on the Yankees today, and it really comes from player prop bets. I have a lot of player prop bets on the Yankees today. You're going to love seeing this. Yankees against Chris Flexen have a number of hitters who have actually hit him well. Giancarlo Stanton, who is en fuego. Giancarlo Stanton is absolutely cooking right now. I love getting Stanton when he's on a hot streak. When he's cold, he's ice cold. But when he's hot, he is a good play. Giancarlo Stanton, over half a hit. He makes the big board. How about Aaron Judge? Aaron Judge is 2-for-3 lifetime against Flexen with a home run. Aaron Judge makes the big board for over half a hit. Again, I'd make these legs of a parlay, so for some of you, these might be really good same-game parlays. That's how I would treat them. How about Juan Soto? Juan Soto coming off a 2-home-run performance. How has he done against Chris Flexen so far this season? Against Chris Flexen so far in his career, 1-for-2 lifetime, but against right-handed pitching, Juan Soto is hitting .318 against right-handed pitchers. Juan Soto makes the big board for over half a hit. I'm not going to put him on the big board as well, but one other Yankee hitter I just want to call out, Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe has a nice hitting streak going. Keep your eye on him. The hitting streak, I believe, is hit double digits. The reason I'm not putting him up on the big board is over 1.5 hits is really the bet that is available. I don't like that. But over his last 20 games, he has a hit in 15. He has a hit in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He has a hit in 11 straight games, everybody. So Anthony Volpe might be the 4th Yankee I'd put on the big board. Won't, but just considering it. Oxman, what do you use for data and info? So I use a couple of different sources. One is a sports betting app, a research app called Outlier. Outlier aggregates data, both marketplace data, like how much money or how many tickets are being placed on a bet. It also allows me to see the trends, matchups, a lot of data all in one place. Keep your eye on Outlier as the best sports betting tool in the entire market. So if you're looking for a free 7-day trial, it does require a subscription. So if you guys want a free 7-day trial for Outlier, DM me on Instagram. I'll hook you guys up with that. But there is not a better sports betting research tool on the market than Outlier. And I think there's great return on the investment when you do pay the $20 a month. That said, if you want to use a website that's absolutely free, killersports.com. KILLER sports.com. It does require you to put in the equation on your own. You kind of need to know how to sort data, But if you're willing to do that, killersports.com is free. I use it every day. I look up all of my trends that way. It's really easy to use. You just got to get comfortable with kind of plugging in the language. But killersports.com is free. Great research tool. I also use ballparkpal.com for baseball. Ballparkpal.com does require a subscription, and they don't sponsor the show, so I'm not going to show them on my screen. However, ballparkpal.com runs simulations, thousands of simulations for every baseball game every day. So they're giving you an indication of how, if I did thousands of simulations, what the outcome would be. I don't use it as my starting point. I use it as kind of my seal of approval. So if the trends I'm looking at in my own research are backed up by ballparkpal.com, that's one I really like. By the way, Whamex Full, yes, Ballpark Pal used to be free. They got smart, though, and started charging for it. They give out too much good data. I don't blame them for it. When you have something that's as good as that, I don't blame them. We're getting a couple questions about some fantasy plays today. So really quick, I'm actually going to just research on the side here using ballparkpal.com what our favorite fantasy plays of the day, specifically for sports fan Gav. What are our favorite fantasy pitchers of the day? Number 1 is Corbin Burns of the Orioles. Carlos Rodon is number 2. Aaron Nola is our 5th favorite fantasy pitcher today. So Sports Gav, Rodon, and Nola, both top 5 fantasy pitchers today if you're looking at them. Brian, I agree. The weather data is great on ballparkpal.com, telling you how the wind, how the pressure system, how precipitation is going to impact the flight of the ball. Gives you a great understanding of home runs and total runs scored. I know that's something that people may go, oh, I don't need that. You'd be amazed, because sometimes you make assumptions about certain ballparks at certain times of the year, how the ball is going to carry or get knocked down, and really it's a false notion because that day's weather is different than your expectations or assumptions. Ballparkpal.com is a phenomenal tool. Dabber Doodle, are we running through the picks again? Sure, here's a recap of all the picks we've made so far in the show. Again, a reminder, if you miss any of the bets we made today, just DM me on Instagram. I give away all of my picks for free every day. They're never behind a paywall, so just DM me on Instagram. You get them for free every day. On the SHARPZ app, they're always free. Here's a recap of the picks, though, that we've given out so far. We are taking Knicks on the money line. Knicks on the money line is the first bet that we're giving out for that game. Knicks on the money line. Second, or this is for MLB, we are going Red Sox on the money line. Red Sox and Cardinals under 9 or under 9.5 for some parlays. We're taking Yankees money line for parlays as well. Yankees minus 1.5 on that run line. Some players we like to get a hit today. Connor Wong, over half a hit. Rob Refsnyder, over half a hit. Paul Goldschmidt, over half a hit. Giancarlo Stanton, over half a hit. Aaron Judge, over half a hit. And Juan Soto, over half a hit. BX fans, no, I'm not going to do that. I post my picks for free every day. They're available on the SHARPZ app. They're available on Instagram. You guys can follow. You can DM me. You can get all of my picks for free. But BX fans, no, you can ask a moderator. Maybe one of our moderators will be kind enough to write some of our picks in the chat. But no, I'm not going to do that. That would take up too much of my time. Would not be worth our efforts. Appreciate you guys being with us. Any home run props today? One player I would certainly consider on a home run is Aaron Judge. He did not homer yesterday. I would certainly consider Aaron Judge today. Definitely something. G-Bucks, Connor Wong over half a hit. Connor Wong over half a hit. And Rob Refsnyder over half a hit. 2 Red Sox I do like to get a hit today. Are the Niners going to the Super Bowl this year again? My answer is no. And the reason I say no is, if we've learned anything over the last 2-3 decades of football, pro football, it's that when you lose the Super Bowl the previous year, the likelihood that you return to the Super Bowl is very, very, very small. So it's not that I don't like the 49ers roster. It's that you have to consider so many things went right last year. Christian McCaffrey stayed healthy. A number of members of that defense stayed healthy. A number of members of other teams in the NFC got hurt. The NFC was kind of weak last year. I think the NFC will be stronger this year. So it's not that I don't like the Niners. It's that I'm not high on them. OG and Hart on course to play. According to Woj, a Woj bomb, OG Anunoby and Josh Hart are trending towards at least suiting up and playing. How much they play, still to be determined, but they are both leaning or at least on the way they think towards playing. I'm shocked that OG could be ready in time. Jay is asking about the Giants game. We're going to focus on the Giants, but first I'm going to go Orioles. I promised we'd get to the Orioles next, then we'll do Giants. How about that? So next game we're going to focus on Mariners and Orioles, and this is a phenomenal pitching matchup in this one. George Kirby on the mound for the Mariners. Corbin Burnes on the mound for the Orioles. Two great pitchers. Thus far, the money is favoring the Orioles. 87% of the money is on the Orioles to win. 78% of the money is on the Orioles to cover the minus 1.5 run line. Let's take a look at some of these trends really quick. Mariners, day game on the road so far this year. The Mariners are 4-3 straight up, 3-4 on the run line. Over under is split at 3-3-1. Orioles at home in day games so far this year. How have they performed? 9-5 straight up, 6-8 on the run line. The over's been slightly better at 7-4-3. Now let's see. Mariners last game of a series on the road. Last game of a series on the road. Mariners are 4-2 straight up, 3-3 on the run line. Over slightly better at 4-2. How about the Orioles? Last game of a series at home, just seeing if there are any trends that stand out. Orioles are 5-3 at home. Last game of a series, straight up, 3-5 on the run line. Thus far, feels very split. I wish I could see something that's a little bit more encouraging. Let's take a look at George Kirby. George Kirby so far this year, the Mariners are 4-5 in his starts, 3-6 on the run line. Specifically, though, when he's on the road, George Kirby, the Mariners are 0-4 when he starts on the road. They are 0-4 on the run line as well. So we finally have a piece of data that we can sink our teeth into. Right now, the Mariners, when George Kirby pitches on the road, they have not won a game. They haven't covered the run line either. How about Corbin Burnes? Corbin Burnes, let's just take a look at his stats all season long. Orioles are 5-4 in his starts, 4-5 on the run line, the under slightly better. The Orioles have actually lost his last 4 straight starts. So the Orioles are 0-4 in his last 4 starts. The under has gone 4-0 in those starts. Specifically at home, Corbin Burnes is 3-3 at home. He has lost his last 3 straight home games after winning his first 3. That's a bit concerning to me. Orioles after a loss, he's 2-1 after a loss, so that's at least a little encouraging. How about George Kirby after the Mariners win? George Kirby after a Mariners win, 2-2. If I had to go in any direction on this, I think I'd take Orioles on the money line. Not enough data, not enough, that constellation of variables that we're looking for just isn't there. I'll lean slightly towards the Orioles on the money line, but I'm not going to put it up on the big board. Just not enough of a conviction level behind it. Next game we're going to focus on, I promised we'd jump to the Giants game. Giants are hosting the Colorado Rockies. We took the Giants yesterday. They delivered for us. How about the Rockies? First game, when the Rockies play a day game on the road this year, the Rockies are 1-8 straight up. You heard that correct. When the Rockies play a day game on the road this year, 1-8, everybody. That is god-awful on the money line. They're also 3-6 on the run line. The under has gone 5-4. Their only win on the road came against the San Diego Padres. It was an 8-0 win when the Rockies were kind of red hot. They've cooled off a little bit, so we put that in perspective. Flipping it around now, let's take a look at how the Giants have done day games at home. Giants have played 9 day games at home. They are 7-2 straight up. So, based on the location of Rockies and Giants in San Francisco today, it's a day game. Thus far, it's all favoring the Giants. Rockies are 1-8 in day games on the road. Giants are 7-2 in day games at home. We love seeing that kind of correlation right there. Let's dive into it a little bit more, though. When the Rockies are in the last game of a series on the road, 1-6. Their only win was that game against the Padres. 1-6 straight up. How about on the other side? Giants, last game of a series at home, 5-2 straight up, only 2-5 on the run line, so haven't been as good at covering the run line, but they are a winning team under those circumstances. How about Dakota Hudson? Dakota Hudson on the mound for the Rockies. Thus far this year, they are 2-6 in his starts. When he has pitched on the road, they are just 1-3 in his starts. The under is 3-1 as well. So the under is a slightly better play in this. Just looking at the data behind it, under getting some love. The over/under is set at 7.5. Don't love that. I'll be honest about it. Starting pitcher for the Giants in this game is Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks, the starter. Giants are just 4-5 in his start so far this year, but when he has pitched at home, he's only 2-3, 1-4 on the run line, so kind of interesting. If I had to go in any direction on this, I'm not going to be too crazy. I'm taking Giants on the money line, but if you wanted to be a little crazy, taking the Rockies to cover, Rockies like plus 2.5, that actually would be my kind of crazy fun play if I were to do it. I'm not going to put it up on my big board. My conviction and my confidence is all behind the Giants on the money line. The constellation of variables all points us towards that. So Giants on the money line. Next game I'm putting up on the big board. Let's go take a look at a player prop bet for this game as well. And a player that I want to pull up. I've already done my research on this, so I know about it. Lamonte Wade Jr. Head-to-head against Dakota Hudson in his career. Wade has just 5 at-bats. He has 2 hits in those 5 at-bats. One of them was a home run. But even more importantly, he has a hit in 7 of his last 10 games at home. He has a hit in 5 of his last 10, not as good. But against right-handed pitching in his last 10 games, he does have a hit in 7 of his last 10. Little cool of late. But against right-handed pitching this year, he does have a .313 average. So I will put this one up on the board as well. That's Lamonte Wade Jr. over half a hit for the Giants. One other player I've got my eye on. It's more based on his numbers against the starting pitcher, Dakota Hudson. Jorge Soler. He has really struggled against right-handed pitching this year, but he hit .333 lifetime in 9 at-bats against Hudson. Keep your eye on that one as well. I do like Kirk Casale. We bet on him yesterday. I would be willing to double down on that. But the only player I'm going to put on the big board for now is Lamonte Wade. On the other side of things, is there anyone in the Rockies lineup that I really like? I got my eye on Charlie Blackmon Jr. He's got good numbers lifetime against the starting pitcher, Jordan Hicks, but not enough of a conviction level given he struggled enough against righties this year with a .238 average. But if I did need a Rocky hitter, just to kind of, throw one out there for you, it would be Charlie Blackmon. Let us know what games you guys want us to focus on next. We are here for you guys. Where is the board? So if you watch on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can see my big board. If you're watching on Instagram Live or on TikTok Live, I'm not going to share my screen. You get to see me. You get to hear me like a podcast. But to see my big board and to see the research we do live during the show, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports. Same handle as TikTok, same handle as Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. You could see every bet we make. You could see every piece of research we look up. You could see how we look at the markets on Outlier. So if you want the full 360-degree experience here at Butt Fumble Sports, make sure you go to YouTube. Check us out there. That way you can see everything that we do live during the show. Niner Nate, what were your thoughts on my Golden State Warriors this year? I think the Warriors are in the worst possible place in some ways, which is they have too much talent to think that they're in rebuild mode, but they don't have enough talent to be able to win a championship. They actually kind of remind me, forgive me for the comparison, they kind of remind me of the Boston Bruins right now. They have enough talent to make the postseason, enough talent for maybe their fan base to believe that they can make some kind of miracle run, but the truth of the matter is, they aren't as talented as the competition they face once they get past the first or second round. So while the Warriors certainly have enough star power, and they have Hall of Famers, they're not a good enough team right now, especially given that the West is so loaded, and the Western Conference is only going to get better considering SGA, Anthony Edwards, and Victor Wembanyama are young, talented, and they are going to rule the Western Conference for at least the next decade. So my general attitude is the Golden State Warriors might be better served by actually going into the early stages of a rebuild as opposed to trying to find one last championship with this dynasty crew, because I just don't see how their age and the competition they face, it's just too great a wall for them to hurdle. So my expectations are the Warriors should go into rebuild mode. If you're watching over on Instagram Live, just like Reese, we're here to help you with your picks and research. Reese is asking about the Phillies and the Nationals. Did we call that game perfectly yesterday or what? I told you Phillies on the money line. I told you Nationals +2. Phillies won on a walk-off sac fly by Bryce Harper. 1-run win for the Phillies. Cleaned up on that. Absolutely love it. Let's take a look at what we like on this game today. Phillies, Nationals. 94% of the tickets are on the Nationals to win. 94% of the money is on the Phillies to win. 94% of the money is on the Phillies to win. The money is backing the Phillies on the spread as well. Phillies are absolutely the team that the money and the public loves. Let's see if that's justified. Nationals on the road in day games so far this year. Nationals are 6-8 on the road in day games. They've won just one of their last 5 day games on the road. The under has split at 7-7, but the under has gone 4-1 in their last 5 day games on the road as well. How about those Phillies? How have the Phillies done day game at home? Phillies during the day, at home. Phillies so far this year are just 4-5 straight up actually. 3-6 on the run line, over slightly better at 5-4. Expected the Phillies to be a little bit better. How about when they're coming off a win at home in a day game? They're 2-3, so still not as good as I would have liked. How about the Nationals? Last game of a series on the road. Nationals are 2-6 straight up. Last game of a series on the road. They've lost their last 3 under this scenario. The under has gone the under's gone 5-3. The under's actually 4-1 in their last 5 games on the road in a last game of a series. Flipping it over, Phillies last game of a series at home this year. The Phillies are 4-4 straight up. 3-5 on the run line. The over's 5-3. Still haven't seen any trends or data to get me excited. Here's something that concerns me, though. Let's pull in the National starter, Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams has been phenomenal for the Nationals. The Nationals have had Trevor Williams on the mound 8 times this year. They have gone 7-1 straight up. They've gone 8-0 on the run line. You heard that correct. When Trevor Williams starts for the Nationals, they are undefeated on the run line. 8-0 on the run line certainly stands out to me. How about Aaron Nola? How has Aaron Nola done so far this year? Or more importantly, how have the Phillies done in his starts? So far this year, Aaron Nola has made 9 starts. The Phillies are 7-2 straight up. Only 4-5 on the run line. I'm kind of coming down exactly where I came down yesterday. Look, I like the Phillies on the money line. The trends are backing it. But this starting pitching matchup, it has me nervous because Trevor Williams has been the absolute stopper for the Nationals. He has been phenomenal on the run line. This is what I'm going to do. I will take Phillies on the money line. I do think the Phillies are going to get the win in this game. By the way, I'm actually kind of curious about this one. I can't look it up. Never mind. I was just curious. Nola's coming off a loss in his last starter. Is he coming off a loss? Maybe not. I'm thinking of Zach Wheeler. Never mind. Let's go back to, we're looking at Nationals to cover. Nationals +1.5 is even money, so I can do really well on this. Nationals +2.5 is -165. You heard that correct. Nationals +2.5 is -165. That's phenomenal. Given that Trevor Williams has been undefeated on the run line this year, Nationals +2.5. Take that bet. I'm putting it on the big board just like I did yesterday. Phillies on the money line, but if I can get the Nationals to lose by 2 runs or less, and I'm getting that at -165, that is a phenomenal return on the level of risk that I have. Again, the thing that really stands out to me is how Trevor Williams has been an absolute stud for the Nationals when he's pitched this year, especially on the run line. So Phillies money line, Nationals plus 2.5. If you've missed any of the bets we've made today, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. I give away my picks every single day for free. So if you miss any of them, DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports. Make sure you guys are getting every bet that I make every single day. Pat Sox, yeah, I wish the odds were a little better, but still, minus 186 for that level of room on the risk. I love it. So Pat Sox, put it into a same-game parlay. Put it into a two-leg parlay. Take Yankees on the money line, Nationals plus 2.5. Take Giants on the money line, Nationals plus 2.5. Really good way of getting about even money on the bet. I think it's a good play, Pat Sox. Jay's asking about the Royals on the money line. Let's jump on over and check out Kansas City. Kansas City. The Royals are... Where are the Royals? Royals are hosting the Athletics. 96% of the money is on the Royals to win. 98% of the money is on the Royals to cover the spread. How have the A's done on the road this year in day games? Athletics in day games on the road. 5-4 straight up. 6-3 on the run line. The over-under is split at 4-4-1. How about flipping it around? How about when the Royals are at home for a day game? Royals in day games at home so far this year. Royals are 5-4 straight up, 6-3 on the run line. The under is slightly better at 6-3. So, kind of split numbers there. How about when the Athletics are in the last game of a series on the road this year? 4-3 straight up, 4-3 on the run line, over under 3-2-2. Thus far, not seeing anything that gets me super excited. Royals last game of a series at home this year. 5-2 straight up, 6-1 on the run line. Royals have been a good team at home last game of a series, so that's kind of the first thing that's gotten us excited so far. But thus far, it feels like a bit of a coin flip. Let's look at the starting pitchers. J.P. Sears. So far this year, when J.P. Sears is on the mound for the A's, they're 4-5 straight up, but they're 7-2 on the run line. The A's are 7-2 on the run line. Watch out. J.P. Sears has pitched pretty well for them, especially in games when it comes to the run line. Pretty strong. How about specifically on the road? J.P. Sears on the road this year, 2-3 straight up, but 4-1 on the run line. The under is 4-1 as well. So A's to cover has our attention. The under has our attention. How about the other side? Brady Singer for the Royals. When Brady Singer has pitched this year, 6-3 straight. The Royals are 6-3 straight up, 5-4 on the run line. The over is 5-4 as well. How about when Brady Singer pitches at home this year? Royals are 5-1, 4-2 on the run line, over under 3-3. This is where I'm coming down on this. I do like the Royals to win. I like the Royals on the money line. Royals on the money line. But I kind of like the A's to cover. A's have been a sneaky good cover team under these circumstances. I can get the Oakland Athletics right now at +2 at -192. I'm going to take that actually. Just like my Nationals play, it really is about the fact that given the risk, I'm getting a pretty good return on the investment. So I'll take Royals on the money line, but I'll take the A's to cover +2. If they lose by 2, it's a push, so they'd have to lose by 3 for me to lose the bet entirely. I actually feel good about the fact this is probably going to be a one-run difference. I think this game between the A's and the Royals is going to be very tight. I think it's almost a coin flip. I like the Royals a little bit more. That's why I take them on the money line, but I have no problem taking the A's to cover +2. Let's take a look at a player prop bet that I looked up earlier that I like for this game. So A's, Royals, the player that I'm looking at for this one, we talked about it a moment ago, Seth Brown. Seth Brown has phenomenal numbers against Brady Singer in his career. Lifetime against Brady Singer, Seth Brown has 10 at-bats. He has 6 hits in those 10 at-bats. 3 of those 6 hits are home runs. So in 10 at-bats, 6 hits, 3 home runs, Seth Brown, love it. Now, against right-handed pitching this year, Seth Brown has sucked. So be mindful of the fact he owns this starting pitcher. He is not great, though, against right-handers this year. Might give you a little bit of caution, but I'd certainly keep my eye on him. In fact, I will put him up on the big board. Seth Brown, over half a hit. Seth Brown, over half a hit. Normally, I like both good numbers against the starting pitcher and good numbers against the righty-lefty split, depending on who he's facing in this day, but I'll take Seth Brown given his phenomenal numbers against Brady Singer. On the other side of things, only Hunter Renfroe has any at-bats against J.P. Sears, just one at-bat. I believe it was a sac fly. However, Salvador Perez has 37 at-bats this year against a left-handed starter. He is against a left-handed pitcher. He is hitting .378. Salvador Perez against the left-handed pitcher. We're all about that. Salvador Perez over half a hit for today's game. So, real quick recap of the picks we've made so far during the show. For the NBA, we have Knicks on the money line. I've got Red Sox on the money line. Red Sox and Cardinals under 9 or under 9.5. I have Yankees on the money line. Make sure that's a parlay play, though. I have Yankees -1.5. I have Giants on the money line. Phillies on the money line. Nationals +2.5. Royals on the money line. And the Athletics +2. For player prop bets, we have Connor Wong over half a hit. Rob Refsnyder over half a hit. Paul Goldschmidt over half a hit. Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto all over half a hit, but those are all same game parlay legs. You're not getting enough value on them on their own. We got Lamonte Wade over half a hit, Seth Brown over half a hit, and Salvador Perez over half a hit as well. We just have a few minutes left in the show. Make sure you're getting your questions in. Make sure you're getting your comments in. Bills Mafia, are your plays still posted on the app? Yes, they will be. Jennifer, all of my picks are going to be on the app. We are going to give out all of our picks for free, so you don't have to worry about any of them. Jennifer, I do put up exclusive picks on the SHARPZ app, so while I give you guys the picks I give during the show on Instagram, if you want to see every bet I make every day for free, they're always on the SHARPZ app. They're never behind a paywall. I never want you guys to spend money on my picks. Ever, ever, ever. They're always for free. So if you want my picks for free today, just DM me on Instagram. ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram to get every bet that I make every single day. We're getting enough questions about Nuggets and Timberwolves where we're going to finish the show focusing on that one. I will admit to you guys, I am so on the fence about this game. This is a tough one for me. I do have a bet in on it, but my confidence level isn't as high as it probably should be. Nuggets coming off a loss. When they are a home favorite after a loss this year, the Nuggets are 13-4 this year, at home coming off a loss. The only problem is one of those 4 losses was to the Timberwolves, came back on May 6th. So certainly something that we have our eye on is the fact that that's been the case. How about when the total for this game is super low. Total is under 200. When the Nuggets have played a game with a total less than 210, it's only happened 8 times this year. They're 5-3 straight up, 4-4 against the spread. By the way, 6 of those 8 games have come against the Timberwolves. When the total is less than 210 and they're at home, these two teams, Timberwolves have actually won 2 of the 3 games in this scenario in Denver. So it kind of has our attention. Let's flip it over now. Let's look at the Timberwolves. Timberwolves, when they are coming off a win and they're an away dog, the Timberwolves are, the Timberwolves are just 9-8 this year when they are coming off a win and then they're an away dog. Only problem, they've won their last 4 straight games under this scenario. They've actually covered the spread in all 4 of those games as well. When rest is 2 days, 2-2, over slightly better. How about the Timberwolves just overall? When the Timberwolves are on 2 days of rest all season, the Timberwolves are 11-2 straight up on 2 days of rest this year. Their only losses came to the Pelicans on the road and came to the Thunder on the road. Both of those games were in December. So since January 1st, the Timberwolves are 2-4. They are 7-0 on 2 days of rest. Yikes. How about the Nuggets on 2 days of rest this year? Nuggets on 2 days of rest, they're just 9-4. 9-4, 7-6 against the spread. The under is stronger at 10-3. The under's actually a good play here. The under's been a good play. When these two teams are on 2 days of rest, the under has been the more favorable play. Let's jump on over to see how the money's coming down on this game right now. As of this moment, wow, 83% of the tickets are on the Nuggets to win. 66% of the money is on the Timberwolves to win. The Timberwolves are getting my attention. Based on the trends, based on the money, the Timberwolves on the money line might be a good play. I'm not going to bet this game. I'm just too nervous about it. I'm on the fence, but personally, I think it's very close. By the way, local celebrity, thank you so much for subscribing. Love having you as a member of the Butt Fumble Sports community. We will be doing subscriber-only shows. We used to do that during fantasy football season, less so now. We actually will get back to that. We will have an NFL, fantasy football, and future bets special next week. That'll be exclusively for subscribers. So thanks so much, local celebrity, for subscribing. Again, if I had to bet anywhere on this Timberwolves game, I think I'd take the Timberwolves to cover. I actually think that's the best bet for this game. This opened at +4, went up to +5.5, is back down to +4.5. If I had to go anywhere for this game, I'd probably take the Timberwolves at +6.5. That feels like a very safe play for me. Timberwolves +6.5. Not going to put it up on the big board, but based on the trends, the data, and the market, that's what I would go with. Really quick, here's a recap of all the picks we've given out during the show. Listen up, everybody. Here's a recap of all the picks we've given out. We are taking Knicks on the money line. Knicks on the money line. For baseball, we're taking Red Sox on the money line. Red Sox Cardinals under 9, under 9.5. We are taking Yankees on the money line. Yankees -1.5. Giants on the money line. Nationals +2.5. Phillies on the money line. Royals on the money line, and Athletics +2. How about player prop bets? We are going Connor Wong over half a hit. Rob Refsnyder over half a hit. Paul Goldschmidt over half a hit. Giancarlo Stanton over half a hit. Aaron Judge over half a hit. Juan Soto over half a hit. Lamonte Wade Jr. over half a hit. Seth Brown over half a hit. And Salvador Perez over half a hit. If you miss any of the bets we give out during the show, just DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports, we give away our picks for free every single day. So if you ever miss them, no troubles, Bubbles. We give away our picks for free, never behind a paywall. All you have to do is DM Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. That's the name of my company. Yes, I really did start a company with the first name Butt, B-U-T-T. Butt Fumble Sports. DM me on Instagram to get every bet that I make every single day. I am so grateful for all of you guys watching the show. I hope you guys know this is my favorite part of every single day is talking sports with you guys on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Thank you for watching us across all of our platforms. We are so grateful that you take time out of your day to watch our content and be a part of this amazing community of sports fans. I hope you guys join us again tomorrow. We will be live at around 4:30 tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you join us because Butt Fumble Sports loves talking sports with each and every one of you. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Hope you cash a lot of tickets today. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everybody.